Belmont Estate in Reedsville, North Carolina. This is part 2 of the original video setup. We've made a number of different changes. Philosophically, we were following the typical methodology, which is we try not to light the subject, we try to raise the volume of light in the room. 2, we were forced to pull the light significantly back from where the model was standing in the alcove behind me, because the lights were showing up in the window as a reflection when they discharged, which made getting the kinds of soft, romantic photographs we were looking for extremely difficult. So we had to pull the lights back, which is where you see them now, and we had to make use of one of our most commonly used techniques, which is we position the lights in such a way that they intersect with each other. As you know, the further the subject is from the light source, the harsher the light is likely to be. The greater the contrast, the harsher the shadows. We counterbalance that, or countermand that, simply by intersecting various forms of light at radical angles, preferably 45 degrees, in order to cause the light to effectively become a softbox in and around the model. So, initially, this was pulled up here and closer and over. So instead, I moved it this way so that when it discharges, it's going to come straight against the wall of the alcove and bounce at 45 degrees roughly to the model. The flash, which had been positioned there, I likewise moved over. Notice that while this is at a slight angle, if I aim it down too much at the floor, this is a highly reflective surface. I'm going to get back a lot of glare up. So I compensated by lifting it up and then placing the flash with its own softbox to the left as I face it and aiming down, so that I now have a very wide path of light coming across at an angle like this from the two sources. Similarly, this strobe had been positioned over there. I brought it over here, I aimed it directly at the reflector, hitting it at about a 45-degree angle here. I don't know if you can see the crease. It's going to discharge the light in this direction. So I've got light here intersecting with light here. Next, when we push this back, I brought it up and I brought it down as much as I could given the attic, so that in effect it comes down, it will intersect the light from the reflector, hit the floor, and fill the volume of light. The last piece of the puzzle is this flash. The model is wearing a very antique dress that's given to nice luminescence, and this was placed up underneath her skirt. Shall we show? Okay, the final piece of the puzzle is this flash, which I placed up under the model's dress. Notice, first of all, that it has a very soft, transparent outer layer, and that the inside is a very nice silky layer, so that with the flash underneath, it's going to raise the light up her body, wrap around, and deflect. Given where I am, two lights there, two sources of light there, all of this light is going to intersect and fill the space around her, so that I'm going to be able to capture the window and the warm wood tones. Now, a final note. My preference is for very soft and very romantic light. I prefer to make the light look as though I had none, that I shot this under ideal ambient conditions. In order to do that, I pulled my f-stop all the way up to 13 for most of the photographs that I took. So, that's a little bit of the logic, and that's how we did this particular lighting assignment. Creating a lighting scene such as this involves the use of a lot of equipment. As always, our sincerest thanks to our sponsors, Westcott, whose strobes we use religiously and exclusively,